2025 Township Committee Meeting located here at the Municipal Building. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett.
Here.
Mrs. Patrick. Here. Mr. McFadden.
Here.
Mr. Olash is absent. And Ms. Susie.
Here, thank you. Also present, Mrs. Simonera, our Township Administrator, Mr. Fox, our Engineer, Mr. Raymond, filling in for our Solicitor, Mrs. Lohr, Municipal Clerk, Mrs. Russell, Deputy Municipal Clerk, Mr. Warren, our Police Chief, Mr. Fenimore, Superintendent of Public Works. Please rise for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sunshine live stream statements, please.
Please be advised that proper notice of this meeting has been given in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act in the following manner. Written notice has been mailed to the Bronx County Times and Courier Post and published in the December 30th, 2024 editions. Written notice has been posted on the official bulletin board of the Township of Delanco at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. This meeting of the Delanco Township Committee may be transmitted via live stream on YouTube video. The streaming of the meeting is not intended to be relied upon as formal public access under the Open Public Meetings Act, and if the technology is disrupted for any reason, the township meeting will proceed in person as an official meeting in accord with the official notice.
Thank you. Please take a moment to silence all cell phones, put them on vibrate, and we'll move into our comments and reports from the professionals. Mr. Fox.
Thank you, Mary. On the agenda this evening on discussion items and correspondence, I'm not sure. We have the developer of the crossings, D.R. Horton. It has requested that we bifurcate the bond. And what that means is that what they want to do is they want to put up a separate bond for the basins. And once all the other punches work is done, when the development in itself, that bond can be released, and the town will take over the roadways right away. So we can talk about that now, or wait for the discussion item, whatever you there.
Oh, we can talk about it later.
Okay. Next, the 2024 local aid grant. That is complete. That's the Chestnut and Walnut Street paving. We're waiting for some the punch list to be done. There's minor punch list work that needs to be done, and that project can be closed out. The local aid, 2024 local aid, that's the Delaware Avenue repaving project. As you know, we awarded that to Earl Asphalt Company for $379,000 since 13, and we have a pre-construction meeting scheduled for tomorrow at 2 p.m. And once we have that meeting, we'll know the tentative schedule for the contractor, and I can reply to everyone by email on what that schedule will be.
We have October 25th is the 5K run, so.
Yep, we have that, and we also have the trunk or treat.
Yeah,
We
25th.
have
That's the 25th too.
carriage run.
Yeah. Carriage ride's on until December.
Right.
Yeah.
So they may have some punch list work to do at that time, but the actual project should be done by then. The Zubrook Park, that is, the punch list is basically complete, and we're still just waiting for the grass to be established. Given the time of the year, that should start to flourish now, the grass, so that should come up soon, and we can finalize that project.
They were out on Thursday and we're doing some seeding and dirt replenishment. They gave me the key to the box, so they were out there on Thursday doing some stuff.
Yep, exactly. I know you're on top of them, so.
You know it.
Don't worry about it. There's a CDBG grant teams meeting. I believe we're going to try and get that tomorrow for the 2025 grant. That's the one that they told us that we were going to get it, but there's no funds. The federal funds aren't available. So I don't know what this team meeting is going to bring about, but we move forward on that. And I'm sure Bev will report on that as well.
Isn't the government closed? What could be an update?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, they're closed.
And that's all I have at the moment. I did, there's, I believe, a discussion item for a street tree, and I did take a look at that, and I can give you my opinion on that when that comes up.
Okay, thank you.
Beverly, did we hear back from New Jersey American Water?
No, nothing new. Not, I know Deb sent it.
Yeah, no. No response.
Need to figure out better notifications for these residents on these street closures.
They need to be made to do it.
Huh?
They need to be made to do it.
I know, that's what,
PSE&G has no problem doing it.
I know.
Along with, and ironically, Pioneer Pipe. They've made notifications to the residents utilizing telephone poles, cones, as well as going and speaking to them in advance.
yeah.
So,
They usually even call you.
Mhm.
Like, I get a call if there's an issue.
but when we spoke to them Thursday, they clearly stated that they would do as such, and they
Right.
haven't, so. But,
Yeah, I got about 5 different emails of doing the hydrant flushing, but
but,
Yeah.
but-
no one's
Yeah.
heard anything else about anything else,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mayor, if
Yes.
you would like to lay a fire under them, I can basically threaten them that I'll shut them down if they don't.
Light an inferno under them. That would be
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you.
I will, I'll tell them that we'll shut them down if they don't keep up
Yeah.
their notices.
Yeah.
Because I have some angry residents, you know, they're knocking on their door at 7 a.m. telling them to move their cars, and they have no idea what's going on, so
Right.
not the most ideal situation. Thank you, Harry. Anything from our solicitor's office?
No, we don't have anything. We do have a comment on the item that Harry mentioned that we'll discuss later on, but other than that, nothing at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. Ms. Simonera, Township Administrator?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple summary items of what's on the agenda. We have received $175,000 from Burlington County Park Development Program for the construction of a playground at Babe Ruth Field. So that resolution is entering the $175,000 into our budget so that we can start spending it. We have, every 2 years, we get a list of requirements from our insurance company with recommended changes. We have a required handbook, and you will see the changes that are being done this year are all in reference to updates to laws. So that's memorializing those changes. And finally, we have successfully completed negotiations with the police officers with their bargaining agreement, and I think it was a fair contract for both sides. And finally, I'm happy to report as far as the run walk that's coming up, the township is putting together a team. There are 12 employees that are going to be out there doing the run walk this year.
Good.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Department heads, Mr. Fenimore?
Yeah, how you doing? We cut all four, we cut all township properties 4 times, included the new property that we got out 401. Line 4, baseball fields for baseball. We lined the soccer fields when they needed them. We delivered so far 8 yards of compost, and we'll be starting on getting rid of our, God knows how much we got, probably about 2,000 yards of compost. We trimmed 19 trees that were low and hanging. I removed 3. The cleanup was pretty good. We had a lot of TVs this year. We took 101 tires. So they used that pretty good. And for our final pickup for brush, we picked up 48 cubic yards. That's
Great.
it.
Thank you. Thanks to you and your team for assisting with us getting the fields ready for the event on Saturday and staying through to help clean up. Appreciate that. You guys did a great job. Okay. Mr. Warren?
Good evening, everyone. For the month of September, we had a total of 13 police cases for a yearly total of 187. There were 163 motor vehicle stops for a total of the year 1,633, and there were 38 motor vehicle summons issued for a total for the year of 550. There were 913 calls for service,
And the total right now for the year is 9,047. So again, getting busy again.
Busy month.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Anybody have anything they'd like to ask before we move on to public comment? Okay. Rules governing public comment period in accord with and subject to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act and JSA 10:4-12 at SEEK. During general public comment periods, the Delanco Township Committee is permitted to institute reasonable rules and regulations to allow for a smooth process and ensure a reasonable opportunity to be heard. Calling out from the audience out of one time at the microphone is disruptive to the person speaking at the mic and to the committee speaking from the dais and will not be permitted. Each speaker will have 5 minutes to speak maximum and should limit their comments to the matter at hand. The speaker will be directed to conclude their remarks once the time has expired. No time may be yielded to another speaker. Groups are asked to select a spokesperson to speak on their behalf. Speakers will address the committee from the podium and are asked to begin their remarks with their name and address. Committee members are not obligated to answer impromptu questions or address remarks from the public during the public comment period. They should expect the township committee for them to refrain from engaging in a dialogue except to the extent necessary to clarify the speaker's comments. The allotted time for speaking from the podium is a method to address the committee during the public comment period. Township committee will not entertain questions or comments called out from the audience during public comment or at any other time. Speakers and members of the public should at all times maintain proper decorum and shall make their remarks in a civil manner. Personal attacks, obscenity, or derogatory or slanderous remarks will not be tolerated. Meeting is now open to the public for session 1 on agenda items only. If you'd like to speak about anything that is on the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name and address. Seeing none, it will close session 1 to the public and move on to our special discussion item tonight on the future development of 401 Creek Road. So this is our second public input session regarding the future of the property that we purchased. So if you'd like to make any comments or suggestions on the future, please come up to the podium and state your name and address. And just a reminder, you do have 5 minutes.
Hi.
Hi, Bill.
Matt Levitch, 304 Center Avenue.
Let's pull the mic up to you. There you go.
Bill Matalevich, 304 Center Avenue. I was thinking about possibly reserving a few acres for a green burial ground, green cemetery.
Did you say green burial ground?
Yes.
What is that?
It's a cemetery that prohibits vaults and embalmed bodies.
Huh.
Closest one is in Bala Kinwood, Laurel Hill. It's very nice. It's natural setting. So it would be amenable to the redevelopment of the property as open space and allow some economic development as well.
Okay. Well, we'll add that to the list. Matt,
Yep.
could you write that down
I
for
did,
us?
yep.
Matt's taking notes for us.
It wouldn't have to be all the property, just a few acres of it.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks, Bill. Anyone else? Public comment on 401?
Mark Perry, 32 Ships Way.
Just pull that mic down. There you go. Say that one more time.
Mark Perry, 32 Ships Way.
Mark Perry. Got it.
I read the minutes from the last meeting, and a couple questions I have is, one of the suggestions was a assisted living facility. My question is, does the township have that big a need to have an assisted living facility here versus the number of assisted livings that are already, and if you converted to that, wouldn't that be a major expense to convert it to assisted living?
Well, it would be a developer that would buy the property and then build on it. So we wouldn't.
So you would resell it?
Yes. We're not in the development business.
And as far as my opinion, reading The rest of the minutes from the first meeting is that I believe that the best way is to keep it as an open area for the community rather than resell it again, because if you resell it, you're gonna have a lot of traffic going in and out. And that was part of the reason why I understand the township was purchasing, so somebody couldn't take it over and make a truck repair place, whether it's truck repair or something else. If it develops traffic, you're defeating that purpose. And as far as some of the other suggestions were concerned, I thought that they were good suggestions, whether limited to a recreation, or you have all those trees there and you have hiking trails, or like somebody suggested, it should be limited just to township residents for something. That's my comment.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else? Mr. Buick?
Scott Buick, 18 Pennington Court. I thank John on the way in for the cleanup of 401. That's the best that it's looked in a very long time, and nicely cleaned up. I would like to see the township at least hold on to that part of the property. Used to drive me nuts at Delran. All the money would go into all the equipment, and it would stand outside for 9 months a year. So when you've got chippers and you've got expensive equipment, it would be nice to get it undercover. So that part in that building, that office can be used for something. Yeah, and I'd probably like to see something along the line of senior housing of some sort on the rest of the property. I don't know whether we can get any more out of the county to help in any one way or another, but that's kind of the way I'd like to see it. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Public comment? Mr. Weber?
Ray Weber, 22 Ships. I made the comment last meeting putting in assisted living type thing in there. The only problem with that is, and Phil knows this, I track a lot of calls. Morristown has 4 retirement communities, assisted living communities. Cinnaminton's got 1. Between 60 and 65% of their EMS calls are going to those locations. That would be an additional cost to the township if you put in assisted living into that development. That's something else that would have to be taken into consideration. And so, as I said, I track all this stuff and stuff. It's just a hobby I got. Strange one, but a hobby.
Could be worse.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Gross.
Good evening. Charles Gross, 35 Walton Way. Members of the Delanco Township Community, thank you for considering the input of our community. As a registered architect and someone who's experienced in tax credit senior projects, I offer the possibility of what 401 Creek Road can become. With the township's history, it's not difficult to imagine the transformation of an underdeveloped property into a dignified and welcoming space for our seniors. Those who have spent their lives contributing to the fabric of this town can remain close to family and friends and can easily relocate within familiar surroundings. Positioned between the Field of Dreams Community Park with its beautifully night-sensitive lit sport fields, nestled along the serene, tranquil Rancocas Creek, and sharing a border with a 55 and older community that can share picturesque and meticulously kept landscape pocket gardens, 401 Creek Road is positioned at the gateway entrance to Delanco Township, ready to become its new brilliant cornerstone. By partnering with an established and experienced real estate developer who specializes in tax credit development, Delanco can transform this property into a vibrant, age-friendly community for our seniors without burdening the local budgets. It's about honoring our elders with peaceful, affordable, age-appropriate living opportunities that allow them to stay close to home, family, friends, and familiar surroundings. It's not the controversial family housing, which we understand can generate apprehensions. The beauty of this type of partnership lies in its efficiency and fiscal responsibility. Through federal and state tax credit programs, this property can be revitalized without straining the local budget resources. In addition, adaptive reuse of existing structures on the property can mean unlocking funds that would otherwise not be available in the complex application process, which projects like this are necessary to compete in. Thank you for considering the vision that honors both the past and the future. And it should also be noted that from future planning standpoint, a project like this can unlock funding and support for additional grants, public and private partnerships, and offer the attraction of additional investment and resources. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Gross. Before you sit, would a developer like that be looking for any kind of pilot-type program to invest in Delanco, you think?
So I believe there are programs like that that are required as far as their application. But again, each pilot program is developed individually within the confines of how the program is going to be run. So again, what the aspects of the pilot are can be negotiated with the developer to meet the requirements of the application. But again, with an experienced developer, I think it's worth, I believe, the opportunity to discuss something with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Mr. Cooper.
Evening, Gary Cooper, 3 Edwards Avenue. I still believe that the developments, either whether it's senior citizens or condos or other homes, is going to put more of a burden on our already stressed emergency services. It's going to be a problem. That's all my comment.
Thank you. Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? I'll close the input session on 401. Thank you all for your comments. As we stated before, we'll take all of them into consideration as we move forward with the future of this property. And thank you very much for all the well thought out words. So move on to our consent agenda items. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Anybody have anything they needed to remove from the consent agenda?
No. I'm good.
Okay, resolution 2025-142, resolution requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriation into the 2025 municipal budget pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-87. Resolution 2025-143, resolution adopting amendments to personnel policies and procedures. Resolution 144, authorizing execution of collective bargaining agreement, Delanco Police Association. Approval of bills in the amount of $1,263,854.30 as per the bill list, run date 10/3/25. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Matt, second by Kate. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mrs. Patrick?
Yes.
Mr. McFadden?
Yes.
Ms. Sues?
Yes, thank you. Okay, moving on to our discussion from last meeting, the appeal of the 2 shade tree decision requests, 210 Peachtree Lane and 41 Emery Way. So I think we all looked into these properties a little bit more after our last meeting. And did anybody want to talk about either one before we move on to our decision?
This is just for the Township Committee, right?
Yep.
We're not opening this up
Nope.
to the public again. For 210 Peachtree, I did reread our ordinance and also ask our engineer to take a look at the property regarding the utilities. And our ordinance states that a small tree, utility should be 6 feet from the tree. For a medium tree, 12 feet, and for a large tree, I think it was 18 feet. So that's why I asked Harry to look, and I also circulated Doug Weller's response that he had suggested it because John Brown had asked him to take a look at the property. So, Harry, do you want to comment? I had asked Harry to take a look at the property as well.
Sure, Kate. I would consider this a medium tree. And as you stated, the ordinance does say 12 feet for utilities. Generally, that is, the most concern is your sewer lateral for the roots. In this case, you actually have a gas main that's about 3 feet away from the tree. And then there's a sewer lateral that's probably about 5 or 6 feet from the tree. There's evidence where, from what I understand, the lateral was replaced at one time with PVC. And there's evidence that the tree root disturbed the clean out at some point in time. Someone cut the root and repaired the clean out. The roots are shallow. If from an engineering standpoint, and I'm not a tree expert at all, just for infrastructural reasons, I would have a concern about the tree roots affecting this lateral and possibly the gas main, but probably not the gas main. That's deep enough.
Okay. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you. And I'm just going to read Mr. Weller's email into the record. It was dated April 23rd, 2025. And just for the audience, Mr. Weller is in charge of our sewer authority.
He's the executive director.
Yes, thank you. This is from Brandy to Jessica, who is the Shade Tree secretary. Mr. Brown requested that Doug Weller check out the property at 210 Peachtree Lane for a tree issue. Doug recommends that the tree be removed as they are causing issues with the sewer lines and could cause problems with the gas and water service if not taken care of. And I've attached the pictures that Doug sent me this morning. So she attached 2 photos that everybody was sent. Those photos, he's just pointing out the sewer clean out and the roots close proximity to it. But we could all see that when we went out there, so. Okay, so regarding 210 Peachtree Lane, Matt, did you want to add anything?
I'll give my comments when I vote.
Okay, Phil?
When was the root cut and the clean out put in? Does anybody know exactly when that was done?
The sewer line was put in 95.
No.
Yeah, the clean out
The
was
replaced clean out?
repaired.
Yeah, the clean out, we don't know, is the previous owner.
Okay.
We'll say was in the last 10 years. Do we want to let her, we can come up and just answer that question for us and just state your name and address.
Mary Makuda, 210 Peachtree Lane. The issue was addressed in 2024. That's when the root was cut and the pipe was cleared out of the roots that are inside the pipe.
Is that while you owned the property?
No.
It was before you
I
just
was
bought
a
it, right?
previous owner.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you very much. So 2024.
Okay. That's what, I was just trying to figure out if the
Timing.
root was gonna grow back in or not, and, if it was done 10 years ago, I could see it, but
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll move on to vote on this appeal. I guess,
Do we have to do that by motion,
yeah, how do you want to do
Janice?
that?
Or just vote?
I would.
I can't remember how we did
You
it
know,
last.
maybe Steve would disagree, but I would do a motion to either accept the appeal or reject the appeal.
Right, I think
second
that's,
and a roll call.
that's probably the way to do it, because the appeal's before you, so just
Right.
similar to a application before a land use board, someone should make a motion to either grant the appeal or deny the appeal, and then a roll call vote on that appeal. It's probably easiest just for clarity to have the motion be made in the affirmative, and then you can vote yes or no on it, and that way it's clear what you're voting for.
Okay.
Yes would be in favor of granting the appeal, no would be in favor of denying the appeal. But again, that's certainly up to the board.
Okay.
Okay, so can I get a motion to grant the appeal of the shade tree request decision on 210 Peachtree Lane?
So moved.
I'll second. Motion by Kate, second by me to grant the appeal. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bartlett?
And just for clarity, so the motion was to grant the appeal. So a yes vote would be in favor of granting the appeal, a no vote would be rejecting the appeal.
Oh, before we do that, let me just add something about the actual removal. So I would be in favor of granting the appeal, but having the homeowner remove the tree and not the township. I think that's kind of an important part of this whole thing.
Yeah, since the shade tree funds are limited, certainly wouldn't be taken down this year, and their budget, they're trying to
Do replanting.
replant some trees in areas where they can plant the right tree in the right place. So the tree would not be able to be taken down from the township in the next year or two. So so that would be the stipulation in granting the appeal, that the homeowner has the right to take it down.
So
Unless
I'll
they wanna wait
revise
2
my,
years. Yeah.
our motion to reflect the appeal be granted at the cost of the homeowner to take down the tree. So Kate, do you want to make that motion?
Yes.
And I'll second that.
I will amend that motion. Can we do that, Janice? Amend it?
So it's a motion to grant the appeal conditioned upon the homeowner remove the tree at homeowner's expense.
Correct. So then roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
This one's a tough one. Usually I'm the first one to throw shade tree under the bus, saying, hey, they deny everything. This particular one, the homeowner, obviously it was the previous homeowner, requested the tree go in at this location. And based on looking at street photos from Google in 2012, I believe it was last updated, it looked like it was placed maybe a year or two before that. The sewer line was placed in 1995. The homeowner knew where they were putting this tree. I get it's not the current homeowner. And I also respect Mr. Weller's opinion as the sewer authority. However, as Harry noted, these are shallow roots. It's not going to affect the lateral 3 foot, 4 foot below whatever the burial depth is. I understand it already somehow impacted the cap of the sewer line there. That's an easy repair because it's right at the ground level. And it was cut already, the roots, about a year ago or so, as we were just said. And you could look at it right now and you could see where the roots are cut, probably a good about a foot on either side of it. I've heard comments at the last meeting that could be a possible tripping hazard with the shallow roots. The shallow roots are there. You know, that's not going to change when the tree comes up, and it's not impacting the walkway that actually gets to the house from the street. For those reasons, I'm voting no.
Okay, thank you.
Mrs. Patrick?
Yes.
Mr. McFadden?
I am stuck on this one. On one hand, our arborist states that when the roots are cut, they will regrow. I see Matt's point about their surface root. That's why my curiosity was, when was it cut? I believe if the homeowner is willing to remove it themselves, then I think I will vote yes.
Thank you.
And your vote is?
Yes.
Mr. Olet is absent. Ms. Sues?
My vote is yes, to have the homeowner remove it at her cost. Tree should not have been planted where it was planted to begin with. I understand it was the approved species by Shade Tree, but we should not be planting street trees where there's utilities, so the tree should come down at this point. So my vote was yes. Okay, didn't get that.
Motion does carry.
Thank you. Moving on to the appeal of 41 Emery Way. Anybody have anything they want to talk about for this?
Like I mentioned last time I went out there, that sidewalk is raised a good 2.5 inches. It is an imminent trip hazard in multiple locations.
Okay.
I'm not concerned about where it is relative to the utility. As mentioned, utilities are at a certain depth, and you could see that those roots are up as well. And tree roots seek water. Electric shouldn't have water. If it does, we have a bigger issue, but it's a trip hazard with that sidewalk the way that is. And if we're not fixing that sidewalk, that tree needs to come down so it can be fixed.
Any other comments?
I'm on agreement with Matt, but my main concern is the gentleman had the sidewalk fixed 2 years ago, correct? I believe.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then he's also now stating that it's raising his driveway.
Mm-hmm.
If it was the sidewalk, I'd feel comfortable with saying, let the shade tree go ahead and do their replacement program. But I think since it's hitting the driveway, I think I'll have to agree and say yes.
Thank you. So just a note about the pilot program for the sidewalk, that money has been depleted. So there is no more township money to do that. I believe that program was established to showcase what could be done for homeowners, since it is the homeowner's responsibility to do sidewalks. So the township is not funding that program anymore. We do still fund the sidewalk reimbursement program, but that was a pilot program to show residents how they could ramp around the tree roots.
With the pavers.
With the paver project, yes. So the township does not have any money to continue funding that at this time. So I know there's still a list, but that's kind of where that stands. So, okay, any other comments? Otherwise, we'll move to make a motion to approve the appeal of 41 Emery Way.
I'll make that motion.
Can someone second, please?
Second.
Motion by Matt, second by Phil. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mrs. Patrick?
Yes.
Mr. McFadden?
Yes.
Ms. Sues?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so that concludes our portion of the shade tree appeals. I hope everyone is satisfied with that process, which is not a fun process for anyone up here, just so we all know. Okay, moving on to correspondence. Any correspondence, Janice?
None.
Okay. This will be session 2, meeting open to the public for comments and questions. Meeting is open to talk about anything you'd like. Please come to the podium and state your name and address.
Yes, my name is Harold Klingler. I live at 509 Buttonwood Street. What I'd like to talk about is street cleaning. I live on a corner, and so I have 2 streets to clean. And I've been keeping up on them for over 30 years. But the issue is, why am I doing that? So I know that we have a street cleaner. I know for years there was issue with the old street cleaner that would break down all the time. And since then, we now own, I guess, half a street cleaner with Beverly, which is supposed to be a better street cleaner. I did see it once, running around the town, but that's about it.
It's done quarterly, at least, right, John?
Correct.
Could you just explain a little bit about that? How often we do that?
Well, I know where he lives, and there's a lot of cars that's always around that area, you know, on Buttonwood Street. But we hit every street.
How often? It's quarterly, right? Like we do it at least every other month, kind of
We
ish?
probably on our third time.
Yeah. So it's required by the state for stormwater.
So my question was on that schedule, because I've put a lot of thought into this over the years, because I have time when I'm out there cleaning the street to think about
Yeah.
it. And why it's happening and what's going on. And so I didn't have time to really sit and count how many streets in the Delanco there are. And I thought, well, maybe the chief knows how many streets there are in Delanco.
Off the top of my head, no.
No. But I don't think there's probably not 52 streets.
I don't know,
Probably
Harry, do you know how many streets there are in town? That sound about right?
It's gotta be 62 streets.
Pull up Google Maps, start
It's
counting.
got to be more than 52, I would think.
62.
62.
There's more than, yeah.
Okay.
I think John knows. He's a
Yeah,
wealth of
so
knowledge
there's,
over there.
you know, 52 weeks in a year. And I was thinking there was less than 52, but at that rate, I thought, well, maybe they could come around and do one street a week. It would, you know, on a continuous basis. But then I thought, you know, there's not enough people working at the public works to do that or take care of that, where you would see the street cleaner, you know, once at least once a week somewhere. And then I thought, well, you know, maybe Burlington Avenue is the biggest problem, because Burlington Avenue, you know, as you know, runs all the way from, you know, West Avenue, the tracks, all the way down to the bridge, and it's all downhill. And there's a lot of crap on Burlington Avenue because of all the traffic on Burlington Avenue that runs through the town, brings all the dirt with it, drops it in Delanco as they're going by. And it's a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of trees on Burlington Avenue. So there's just, Burlington Avenue is just filled with stuff, and it's all downhill. And when it rains, every time it rains, all that stuff runs downhill, and it hits all the side streets and just runs down the side streets. And of course, the one I'm on happens to be at an angle, so it's perfect for that. You know, it doesn't have to make a right-hand turn. It just goes zoom, right on down. All the crap comes down there. So I would think that if somehow we could at least get Burlington Avenue done on a regular basis.
So
But-
that's a county road. So the county is responsible for street sweeping that, right?
road has been hit probably a dozen times. You might not have saw it, but we've hit that constantly because of those sycamore trees all along there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've hit them at least a dozen
Yeah.
times, more than any street in town.
And the
Yeah.
county does it too, on top of
And the
that too.
county just went by
Yeah.
last week also.
So maybe they're not doing it enough, the county.
Well, I mean, you can
They're
do
only
it.
required, we're only
Yeah.
required 4 times a year to sweep the street.
Right.
Just, you know, sweep the streets. But if the street is dirty, we go out. You know, people blow a lot of grass out into the street, and that promotes the weed to grow along the curb. What are you supposed to do?
No, I understand all that.
So
I'm not
We're on
saying,
a schedule to get through the whole town. Now, when leaf season comes, we'll probably hit the streets 4 or 5 times.
Right.
Because we're
So
cleaning up
dry.
all the debris from the, you know, leaf picker. We follow up and we clean up. No towns do that. We do it. Okay, because all that little stuff, the flakes and stuff, that all goes down into the storm drain. And the next thing you know, somebody's calling up, the storm drain's clogged up. Well, I guess so.
Right.
Because of all the debris.
right.
And I think, John, isn't the big issue on the smaller streets where where Mr. Klingler lives, you can't get all those cars off the street at the same time to clean them up. You know, Buttonwood's a narrow street.
Yeah, but
I lived there a long time.
I think if it was a schedule, if it was scheduled, that you, just like any other time that you schedule something on streets, you put up the signs and you say
talked
no
about that.
parking
Right.
on this day, because we're going to run up and down the street to clean it.
So that's something we're
I don't think people
working
would have a
with.
problem with that.
We're working with our new administrator in Public Works
Yeah.
and our subcommittee to actually get a schedule going. It's a bit of a process, so it is something we are trying to work on. So more to come, definitely. But we hear you, and I appreciate your concerns, for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Public comment?
Mark Perry, 32 Ships Way. A couple weeks ago, I received a postcard from New Jersey American Water, and I assume that most of the township received that notice about lead pipes. My question is, where could I get information on, my house was built 2004. 21 years ago. And I want to know where I could get information of what material was used to put in the water and sewer lines when those houses were built.
Not lead pipe,
Nope.
that's
Not
for
lead
sure.
pipe.
Not lead pipe.
Not
Probably
lead pipe,
PVC.
PVC.
Yeah, there was no lead pipe
PVC,
allowed.
not lead pipe. If it was 2004, no lead pipes.
So I guess that New Jersey American Water just automatically sent out to everybody.
Well, that's different. New Jersey American Water's feed pipes are different than what is in your house. How New Jersey American Water gets the water to us is New Jersey American Water's infrastructure, so that's
Yeah,
different.
But even then, they shouldn't have been putting lead pipe in
No,
the roads
they-
in Newton's Landing.
No, but how they
yeah.
get it from the wells to us is a different
Yeah,
story.
the mailings that they're doing is to have the homeowners, and they sent out emails as
Right.
well to go out. I got it last year to go look in your basement and see what type of pipe. If you scratch it with a coin or a nail and it, I don't know, turns a shade of purple or whatever it is, then you have a lead pipe.
Harry, when's the last time they installed lead pipes in houses? 70s?
Were you born yet, Harry?
Actually, yes, my parents' house had lead pipe, believe it or not.
Did they?
Paint lead pipes kind of in the 70s?
My house may have had them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My house
Yeah.
is over 100 years old, but I had all new piping put in when I renovated it.
Yeah, we
PVC.
did the same thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was, lead pipes weren't used.
Based on that notice, it made it sound like it was the water and sewer line that went from the street to the house, not the pipes within the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so from the street to your house is still your responsibility.
I understand
Yeah.
that, but
It might have been one of the mailers that they sent out to try to get you to sign up for their extended warranty,
Yeah.
where they would cover it if you pay them $10 or $15 a month.
They sent out that mailer also.
Yeah.
This was separate.
Got ya. I didn't get that.
Yeah, I got that last week.
I got it.
And it wouldn't be your sewer pipe. Sewer was never, I don't think it's ever been lead pipe. It's PVC
well-
currently. Before that, it was Orangeburg and the terracotta.
Wouldn't the contractor building the houses
His spec.
wouldn't whoever the contractor used to put in the sewer lines and the water line,
Yeah, they
was
were
that
under-
New Jersey American Water
No,
at that time?
No, I don't think New Jersey American Water puts your piping in. They may come back and put the piping in from the street to the house.
Yeah,
Right.
when
They
the
do
when
the
Newton,
street to the house, and they're under the same obligation that homeowners are about lead, so.
I'm
they
not
have-
talking about who's responsible. I'm talking about I don't want to change them just because I got a notice.
you don't need to. You're good.
You're fine.
I'm confident there is no lead pipe that's serving your property.
In Newton's Landing. Right.
or any property in Newton's Landing.
Right.
So there might be lead pipe in some of the rest of the township, depending on how old, how many.
Absolutely, yeah, but
Yeah.
not
But
in Newton's Landing. You're
You
good.
don't believe so?
You're good.
Okay, thank you.
Harry, can you tell us that we're good?
Yes.
Thank you.
I can guarantee you that there's no lead pipes in Newton's Landing.
Okay, there could be inside the house though.
No.
No,
No.
no,
inside
not
the-
Newton's
No.
Landing, no.
Newton's Landing.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Anybody else? Mr. Kishler, come on up. You don't have lead pipes either. Uh-oh, he has a prepared speech.
What?
Huh?
He's watching the Phillies game, aren't you? On your phone?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Tim Kishler, 12 Harris Court. It's been a while since I've been able to attend one of these meetings. So first, shoot. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Couldn't get it to print, now I can't get it to. It's been quite a while since I was able to attend one of these meetings, so first let me publicly thank Mayor Suze and all but one of her fellow committee members who work relentlessly to communicate the benefits of the township purchase of 401 Creek Road to its residents, which ultimately resulted in a majority vote to approve it. Anyone wanting to get a feel for the bullet that we dodged here in Delanco need only drive north on Route 130 and look to their left, just after Obnoxious Antiques and before the Florence, New Jersey Turnpike entrance. There sits United Brakes and Clutches, a commercial truck repair facility much like the one that Criterion proposed building on the 401 Creek Road site. Second, I would like to revisit an issue that has previously been addressed but not resolved. This is the challenge of safely making a left-hand turn onto Newton's Landing Boulevard from Emery Way. Some time ago, our chief of police determined this to be the result of obstructed vision, and at least to some degree, it is. But while it is also clearly more than that, the cause of the obstruction was misidentified as the line of bushes that might be overgrown at times, which delineate the end of the property in the backyards of those living on John Marr Way, and this is not the case. Vision is actually obstructed by the row of 10 mature trees which follow the curved edge of the 1/10 of a mile roadway from the entrance of Newton's Landing on the boulevard to the intersection at McKay Way, making it extremely difficult to see oncoming vehicles as they travel along the expanse at speeds which may at times exceed the current posted limit of 25 miles per hour. There is currently only one traffic sign that alerts drivers to the almost 50% reduction in the speed limit out of the two 45-mile-per-hour roads, Creek Road and County Road 625, that feed into the community. The single black on white 25-mile-per-hour sign stands off to the right, nestled beneath and often in the shadow of one of these trees on Newton's Landing Boulevard, a full third of the way between Creek Road and McKay Way. One of my neighbors, whom you have come to know, insists that if he hangs back far enough, he can actually see through, or more accurately, around this bank of trees. For some time, I did the reverse, creeping out further and further into the crosswalk at this intersection. However, recently, in an effort to maintain my personal safety and sanity, I've taken to driving around the block behind my house, making lefts on Harlow Place and McKay Way, and turning left onto Newton's Landing Boulevard, a long block further away at the intersection of McKay Way, where I can actually see oncoming vehicles after they pass Emery Way. When I last brought this issue at one of these meetings, I mentioned that Susan and I had previously lived for 20 years in Lumberton's Bobby's Run, and that at one point the township hired a firm at great expense to perform a traffic calming study at Bobby's Run Boulevard, which runs through that development. Suggestions included the now popular rotaries and the equally unpopular speed bumps. But in the end, no action was taken. I have, however, noticed several things recently that have actually been done elsewhere, and I have some suggestions I would like to offer this committee, all free of charge. I understand that nothing can be done about the curve in that first tenth of a mile of road entering Newton's Landing, and I'm not suggesting that any of the 10 trees that line the road be cut down. And my neighbor, who I previously mentioned, has reminded me that a speed bump is definitely not an allowed solution. A stop sign on Newton's Landing Boulevard at McKay Way would probably only make matters worse, as it has been my experience that many motorists just don't know who has the right of way or when to proceed if there are more than 2 stop signs at any intersection. But there are still a number of things that can be done. While traffic signs are usually situated to the driver's right, they can also be placed on the left side of the road, and a single signpost can accept more than 1 sign on either or both sides. Also, while such signs are usually black on white, they can also be black on yellow. It's been proven that things that are yellow are easier to see, which is why the color of everything from emergency vehicles to tennis balls has been changed to yellow. And to draw even more attention to black on yellow signs, there are long black on yellow metal sign tails that can be placed below them. Newton's Landing is not a private gated community. In addition to those who live there, the streets are open to the vehicles, cars and trucks alike, of those making deliveries or providing services, as well as students just learning to drive. All should be subject to the same speed limit to prevent damage or injury to property or person. My first suggestion is to attach 1 or 2 black on yellow reduced speed ahead signs on the back of 1 or both of the existing signposts on the end of the median strip just prior to the entrance to Newton's Landing. I would also like to suggest replacing the current single black on white 25-mile-per-hour speed limit sign with a black on yellow one. The black on yellow metal sign tails could also be attached below as many of these signs as there is sufficient available space to the ground. Lastly, I would like to recommend that the speed be limited, to 15 miles per hour for all of Newton's Landing, as it already currently is in the Point Townhouse Community section. I trust that at least a majority of our elected township officials will seriously consider these recommendations and take appropriate practical action on behalf of our residents and their safety. Implementing these would not be costly, and they would also not require either the circulation of a petition or an expensive special election.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Harry, do you have any comments you'd like to add?
Yeah, as far as the signage, the township is governed by what's called the MUTCD, Municipal
Manual,
Traffic Control.
manual for uniform.
Yeah, thank you. Manual from Traffic Control. That tells what exactly signs can be placed there, and the colors of the signs, the shapes of the signs, the dimensions of signs, everything to a T. A black on yellow traffic sign is not allowed, I can tell you that. There are advanced warning signs that could be put up in black and yellow, but certainly not speed limit signs. In addition, the height of the signs, they have to be 7 feet above ground level. So the existing posts that are out there and whatnot probably couldn't, and I didn't look at it, but probably could not support another sign. They also, MTC discourages putting multiple signs on one post as well, for clarity reasons. So with regard to the signage, that would have to be looked at, and some of the items you mentioned, I appreciate your thoughts on it, and I understand what you're saying, but they're just not allowed by law.
Could you look at that intersection when you're in town again, the area he's talking about, and see if like, do we need to trim some bushes or some trees, any kind of sight triangle issues?
Exactly, sight
Yeah.
triangle issues
Yep.
sounds like the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could take a look at that and report back to us.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything, Chief?
I agree with him. I spoke on that earlier this year. It's the trees. They're right almost at the curb line right there.
Okay.
So you have to keep inching out.
Okay.
Almost up to the stop sign to look around.
What trees are you talking about?
Those like, they're small like evergreens, right? I guess they're evergreens? The ones that are right on there, right almost by the curb line, that's one you're referring to, right?
I don't know the species, but they're tall,
Yeah.
real trees.
And then you have-
It's not the bushes that are.
Right, then you have regular trees that are just hanging over onto the street, same way. Because I asked, could they be either trimmed back? But definitely, that's what's obstructing your view.
What's the location of this? I don't understand where you're.
As soon as you're coming around the bend, John, as you're coming into Newton's Landing,
Emory
it's the
and
first right turn.
Right.
Emory and Newton's Landing Boulevard.
And what, is that first stop sign, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Coming
so-
from Emory back on.
If you're on Emory, trying to get out of Newton's Landing, you want to make a left there,
It's just hard to see around.
It's hard to see.
Talking about the island though, right?
No.
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 I don't even know what to call that island, that's why I didn't include it.
Yeah.
Just
Well, that's the
bushes there.
boulevard, right?
Yes.
He's making a left.
John, I think you just trimmed
Left.
the
Yeah,
trees.
he sounded like he couldn't.
Yeah, I did.
You're talking right there.
Oh, to see those cars.
Those, see the,
Oh,
yeah.
because he
They're
sounded, he made it
evergreen.
sound like it was the cars coming from this way.
What can you say? Is it
Gotcha.
me coming out?
Just keep that.
People coming in?
You can't see people coming in.
Yeah, John, we have the map. We'll show you the map when the meeting's over. We'll show you.
Okay.
We'll show you the picture. You can come on up, Ray.
He'll tell you what I meant.
Ray Weber.
Yeah, Ray Weber, 22 Ships Way. At Emery and Newton's Landing Boulevard, John just trimmed the tall trees that have been there that are about 4 feet off, 5 feet off the line. The trees that Tim is talking about, those evergreens, they are on the homeowner's property.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where
Yeah.
Tim mentioned that I look through, I'm the one who looks between the trees because you can see all the way up to Old Creek Road, as I will call it.
Yep.
So you can see where, so that's how I know what's coming out, but I've learned to do that just because I've had to.
Yeah, but if they're in the site triangle, they'll be told that they have to be removed.
But they're really not in the site triangle.
Well, we'll figure that out.
When you come around, because I know Chief has already looked at that situation, and if you come out to the stop sign and you look left, you can see 200 feet down.
They said to come up a little further.
Yeah. So we'll look at it from
Okay.
an engineering standpoint, and we'll see what we can do
Yeah, I
to
just
make
wanna
it
get
easier.
some
But I see exactly
clarification,
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to inch out halfway into the intersection to see, because it's kind of a bend there, so it's
Yeah.
a little awkward.
Yeah, and on the other side, there was bushes on the other
Yep.
side, when you were looking down.
To the right.
Right.
Towards Newton's
Yes.
Landing Circle, we took those bushes out.
Okay, so they're
And
not
we-
there anymore.
we
Okay,
put
I see him
in-
right here on the aerial.
We have 3 stones and some other
Okay.
real low bushes. Yeah,
Great, okay.
we did that.
Thank you for the clarification. We'll get back to you, Tim. Anyone else? Close this second session to the public and move on to our discussion items. Thank you all for your comments, by the way. Request for bifurcation of performance bond, DR Horton, for the crossings at Delanco facility. Does the HOA have any concerns with this? Cindy? Do you want to come up? I'll just want to hear from them before I hear from,
Have they completed everything?
no.
They're not done.
If you want to hang out here during our discussion, too. I missed your pretty face. Where you been?
Very sweet.
Pull your microphone down.
Cindy Hedman, 70 Walton Way.
There you go. Thanks.
So my concern is I want them to be held, we want them to be held accountable for everything.
Right.
So I think that the last we spoke with you, Harry, you said there was a chance that this may happen, that they may want to separate the bonds and keep the basins separate, but they still haven't done any of the other work that they said they were going to do. So I just want to make sure that separating the bonds is totally independent, and we're still going to require them to complete what they need to complete, because nothing has been done since we spoke.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, they sent me an email telling me that they did finish that, but I haven't looked at it or had my inspector look at it yet.
I was out of town for a few days last week, but normally our residents tell me everything.
I'm sure.
I have not heard anything
I'm not
that any
surprised.
work has taken place. Chuck, do you know of any work that I'm not aware of?
I'm not surprised.
So the bond won't be released until they do everything they're supposed to. And when they do that, that's when we would set up a separate bond for the basins. But not until everything's done, Cindy.
Okay.
We
And
will
you
not-
guys have assured us that, and you've been great partners with that, and we
Yes.
appreciate
Yeah,
that
but I'm not
very
doing
much.
anything that benefits them until they finish this. So can council explain what bifurcation does?
Yeah, so the bifurcation process would, so first of all, it's entirely, until they've done all the work, nothing has to be released. So it's optional for the council. I think that in speaking with Doug prior to this, his recommendation was because I think there has been some issues out there with some of the work that DR Horton has or has not done. There's been a lot of meetings back and forth, so he wanted to get the input of the HOA. It's nice that we have that tonight, but it looks like there's still some questions about that. Doug also thought it would be important to get input from Taylor Design Group to see what their recommendations were out there, and then obviously, I guess Harry's still needs an inspector to get out there and see. So there's no real urgency on this. This isn't anything that has to be done tonight. In fact, even if you wanted to do it tonight, we would still have to prepare a resolution and have that on at your next meeting. So I don't think that there's any necessarily urgency to do this for tonight. We should, if council is thinking about possibly doing this, I think before you even go down that road, we need to make sure that they've done the work that they've said they were going to do, and then also have, again, Taylor Design Group's input, have the input from ERI and any inspections that have to be done. And then if everyone's on board that they've done what they had to do, then again, council can act at that point.
Okay. I'm in no rush to do anything for them because their basins are still a hot mess. Their list is not being done. So in my mind, I'm not in any rush to bifurcate anything for them.
I agree.
Yeah, we wouldn't do anything.
Thank you all
There's
very
no way.
much.
We know, we got you.
We appreciate
They
it.
aren't the first developer we've dealt with
Right.
these issues, so we're,
Harry, could you
And we
please
met with
follow up with
Harry
them?
on site with a representative developer not too long ago, and he told Harry he was going to do things and told us he was going to do things, and he still hasn't done anything.
Overpromise,
How are these guys
underdelivery.
still in business if they can't get this little development done?
it's amazing.
Because they're the biggest home builder in the country.
We had-
It's just
We
crazy.
had the same thing out at Newton's Landing that went on for years before things were.
So
finally
you
done.
can let them know that no bifurcation and to get started on their punch list stuff, it's gonna be winter time soon.
Yeah.
And we're not willing to budge on anything until they start actually having an action plan and doing things.
What's the point when we could call their bond and just do it?
You don't want to
You
do
don't wanna
I
do
heard
that,
some
that's ugly,
groans, no.
that's an
You
ugly
don't wanna do
process.
that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. We don't have to do that.
They do need to get their basin situation figured out, though.
Yeah, it
that's
takes-
one of the biggest
It takes a long
issues.
time. I think Newton's Landing had to be, I don't know, it was over 5 years at least.
Yeah.
That's where we're heading. It's 5 years.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
over 5 years, yeah.
Yeah. And we have to remind them, and I don't know if you want me to do it or if you will, we'll do it, but we have to remind them that since nothing has been transferred over, if this goes into the winter, they're going
They're
to
gonna
still
plow
be
streets.
responsible
They
for
have
the
to do
streets.
their-
For
Yeah.
year
Yep.
5.
Yeah,
For year 5.
they'll do it because we will not do it.
You can remind Corey that if you'd like,
I'll be
Yeah.
happy
when it gets
to.
colder.
Thank you very much.
I'll give you that privilege.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Cindy.
Okay, anybody else from council, committee? We are a committee. Have anything they want to talk about? Comments? No?
Go Phils.
No, I mean, the game's almost over at this point.
3-0.
No reason for executive? Which
Nope.
way?
What's that?
Phillies?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, well, that's not,
3-0.
for God's sakes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Kate, all in favor?
Anyone second?
Aye.
Good night, thank you. See you in a couple weeks.
They're loose and-
Can you bring that up on your phone for him?
The Phillies?
No, the Google Maps. That just happened. Is that the 8th inning?
7.
Well, that just happened then.